Alright, welcome back to part 2 of the squid dissection. Unfortunately, we had an unexpected closure of the recording program while I was recording this the first time, so the squid's a little bit further along than I would have liked, but we can still work with that. Alright, so once you open up your squid, you'll see several things. Now, what I've actually done is I've cut open my siphon here, as well as punctured the ink sac. Do not do this right away. You can open up the siphon by hooking it with your probe. It'll be right along here, and then cutting it with your scissors. That's completely okay. Now, you'll notice that there are several different organs along your squid when you open it up inside. At the top here, we have the squid's two kidneys. Kidneys in humans are quite small compared to other organisms. In the squids, you'll notice that they are going to be quite large. To the sides, we have the squid's gills, which it uses to obtain oxygen from the water. As water comes in through the mantle, it passes over the gills and then circles back and is ejected out of the siphon. Underneath will be the ink sac, which you'll probably see as being a bit of a blackish silvery organ. The ink sac will eject ink into the siphon when the squid wants to make a quick escape and prevent its predators from following it. Here we have another white organ that looks a bit like a tube. This is the squid's large intestine and anus. So leftover food will exit the digestive tract from that area and be passed out the siphon. Up at the top, we have the caecum, which is like a combination of the squid's small intestine and of its large intestine. Now, judging by the size of this caecum, I'd say this is a fairly immature squid, hasn't probably hit puberty yet. The other reason I say that is it's difficult to see the gonads on the other side. Now, I expect there's a bit of a whitish area here. This is a male squid. This is where the sex cells are going to develop and the squid is going to produce its sperm. In a female squid, you'll see the ovaries roughly about here, and there'll be sort of an orangish sac. It'll look a little bit like eggs. Now, you'll also notice that when I pull this up, what I've done in order to pull the internal organs of the squid up is I've just cut the connective tissue along the sides here. You don't need to actually cut the organs out, but you can remove them. Now, what you will find here is you will find this, which is the squid's pen. Now, my pen has actually been out of the squid for several minutes, so it's dried out and become a bit brittle. When you take it out, it should be flexible and a little bit soft, but please don't twist it around and stuff. It will break very easily, and I do want you to keep these intact for a little bit longer. You may need to use the scalpel to cut away at the sides of the pen in order to remove some of the tissue and take it. That's okay, just make sure you don't cut away the entire way. Just cut gently, and the connective tissue cuts very easily. Now, some of the neat things about the squids, and I think the neatest thing about squids are cephalopods. They're a type of mollusk. They're distantly related to clams and snails and slugs, but they're cephalopods, which means that their closest relatives are the squid, and the cuttlefish. All of these different types of mollusks have a little bit of the shell left over, and that's what this pen is. They have shrunk it in order to allow them to move faster, and in fact in octopi they're almost completely gone. The other neat thing about these organisms, though, is that they don't just have one heart. They actually have three hearts, and the top of the hearts are located at the top of the gills. There's also a third heart that is towards the center of their body. Now, you probably won't be able to see the gill hearts on your squids here. I've worked with this species a couple times. It's tough to see, and larger squids, they're much easier to see. But if you want to go looking for them, look around up at the top of the lungs. You should see like a little white lump. Once you've opened up the squid, you can remove the pen, but then I want you to do an internal drawing of the squid. Just like when we did the external drawing, make sure you move things around so that it's easy to see everything. You should be able to see all the sections of the squid's interior very easily, and you should be able to draw them out. Again, take your time, don't rush. Biological drawings should be large and easy to see, but they don't need to be extremely detailed. They do, however, have to have the proper shape. You have to be able to see everything is clearly the organ that it's supposed to be, because we need clarity. You don't need to show all of the different shades and colors that you see here, but you do need to show the shapes accurately. So take your time. Alright? If you finished by this time, and as you can see, this is a fairly quick dissection, there are a couple other parts of the dissection that you can do. I'll show you guys these in the third video, and if you get time you can do these. If not, I do have a bit of work that you guys can do, and you have your portfolios to work on when you get back. So see you soon. Have fun.